Welcome along to your Vinyasa Flow. So this week I took a few clippings of some devil's ivy and was going to try and replant these and see how they would go with propagating. So took a few of the clippings of this plant right here actually and put one in a wee jar of water in the bathroom. And so this was maybe 5 days ago. And every day this week, I've gone into the bathroom in the morning and had a little look to see if there are any new roots coming through. And day after day, there hasn't been a single thing that I have noticed until this afternoon when I went into the bathroom and I decided to turn the vase around. And sure enough, there were 5 little roots starting to come through the stem. And it just got me thinking about how growth isn't always happening where you expect to see it happening. It's not always in the most obvious places. And it's the exact same with our yoga practice and the growth that we can experience through our yoga practice. It's not always exactly where we expect it to be that the growth is happening. But today's class, I invite you all to trust the process of yoga. Trust that by you showing up, constantly showing up and bringing your awareness into your practice, dedicating time, dedicating awareness, dedicating your energy into your practice, trust that that growth is going to happen for you. Trust that that transformation internally is going to happen for you, even though we might not always feel like we can see that change. As long as you're doing the things, you are watering your little devil's ivy, cutting, placing it in the sun, giving it a bit of fresh air, that growth, that transformation, that change is happening even if we aren't observing it right in front of us. So today, as we flow through, I ask or invite you to constantly come back to each pose, to allow yourself to be in that pose without worrying where you're trying to get to, without worrying or striving to see that change right away, without needing to see results straight away, but rather just being in your practice. Being in your asana, in the pose, constantly coming back to that present moment. That is you doing the work. And so we'll start off in a comfortable seated position, cross-legged or on knees. You might like to be propped up on a little block, shutting down your eyes, and taking an inhale deep into your belly. Exhale through your nose, let that one go. Maybe shutting down your eyes. Observing that natural rhythm of your breath as you straighten through your spine, your head stacked over shoulders, stacked over hips. Through your nose, take an inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 6. Hold at the top and exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Repeating with your own count If you can maintain the inhale and exhale for a count of 6, continuing with that. And if you'd like to move up a count, move up to 7, 8, or maybe if that's feeling a little challenging, dropping your count back down to 5 or 4. Maybe using a gentle ujjayi breath, a slight restriction in the back of your throat to slow your breath down. Your inhalations and exhalations are soft and gentle. After your final round of breath, take one big inhale deep into your belly. Part your lips and sigh that one out. And tilting your head over to the right. And then taking your right hand and just gently pulling your head down towards the right, starting to feel into your left side of your neck. And continuing with your breath. Placing your right hand down on the mat beside you, your left hand sweeps up and over. Lateral stretch all the way from your left fingertips, all the way down your left side of your body, left hip planted into the mat. And straightening your spine, both hands up to the sky, breathing in. And then taking your left hand down to the outer edge of your right knee, your right hand behind your hips to open into a twist. And taking your gaze behind you toward the back of the room. And both hands back up through center, breathing in. And the hands come down by your side on the exhale. And this time your head tilts over to the left. Your left hand comes on top of your head, gently pulling your head down to the left, taking that neck stretch on your right side. Can you stay with this pose? Can you stay present? Your left hand comes down onto the mat beside your hips. Right hand sweeps up and over. Your lateral stretch this time all the way from your right fingertips, all the way down your right side, plugging into your right hip, rooting down into the earth. And coming back up through center, straight spine, both hands to the sky. Your right hand comes to meet your left knee, your left hand just behind your hips, and then opening up into that twist, taking your gaze behind you. And coming back through center, both hands to the sky, breathing in. Arms sweep beside you as you exhale. If you are using the playlist today, now's the time to press play. Now that link for that one is just in the wee description. Play. Going into a tabletop position. Your wrists stacked underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And from there, squeezing your shoulder blades together as your chest melts or drops forward, pulls forward. And then pressing through your palms as you spread your shoulder blades across your back, doming through your upper back. Again, squeeze shoulder blades together and then spread them apart. So you're taking your cat-cow here, but just with your upper back. And just that movement through your shoulder blades. And take an inhale as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale as you press them apart. Coming back to a neutral spine, back is flat. And then from there, taking a few circles on the wrists. So just making sure that your wrists are aligned correctly. Your index finger is parallel with the sides of your mat. So rather than the middle finger, it's your index finger pointing forward. And then leaning your shoulders round, forward, over, back. Taking a few circles over your wrists. And we'll take it the other way. And coming back to stillness. Back in your tabletop. From tabletop, walking your hands, one hand print forward. And taking your shoulders over top of your wrists, squeeze your belly to your spine and start to lower all the way down to the mat. Keeping your elbows tucked in, hovering just off the mat here. And then allowing your whole body to come flat. Baby Cobra, your toes are pointed, pushing down into the mat as you lift your chest forward. Take an inhale. And melt down as you exhale. And breathing in, pressing your hips into the mat. Chest lifts. And fold back down as you breathe out. One more time, baby cobra, breathing in. Your palms pulling back in space. And fold back down to the mat as you breathe out. Pressing back into your child's position, drawing your hips to your heels. From here, we'll make our way into tabletop, but moving with the cat back. So starting to curve through your spine, pulling yourself up onto your palms, tailbone slightly tucked. Once you arrive, take your cat, your belly drops, chest lifts. Draw your chin to your chest, press through your hands, dome your upper back. Really squeezing your lower belly to tuck your tailbone down. Once more, moving in to your cow. Your tailbone lifts, belly drops. Heart space reaches forward. Shoulders back and down. And from here, tucking your toes, lift your hips to down dog. Taking your pedal out of your feet, one heel down and then the other. And your feet here are hip width apart. And finding stillness in your down dog. Not worrying about your heels being flat on the mat here. You might have a soft bend in the back of your knees. And then lifting your tailbone up to the sky, but keeping your low ribs knitted in. Your hands are shoulder width apart. Your biceps rotating towards your ears. Take a deep inhale to your belly. And exhale. Coming up onto the tips of your toes, we're going to ripple forward. So pulling your navel up towards your ribs up towards your collarbone, shoulders stack over top of your wrists. And then bending through your knees, lift your hips back to the sky, down dog. We'll move through a few more rolling down dogs. Ripple forwards, undulating through your spine, shoulders stack over wrists. And bend through your knees, lift your hips back to the sky, down dog. Ripple forward once more, come into your high plank. And then drop your knees down to the mat. Untuck your toes, toes pointed. Start to lower through chaturanga. Keep your elbows by your side, lowering all the way down to the mat. Baby Cobra is your inhale, tops of your feet press into the earth. Lower back down, exhale. Baby Cobra lifting up on the breath in. And down for the up. Press back to child's position, hips to your heels. And then arching through your back, take your cat as you reach forward into your tabletop. Belly drops, chest lifts, cow. Once more through your cat cow, spread through your shoulder blades, arch your back. Take an inhale as you move into your cow. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, down dog. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Walking your feet 1 footstep at a time to the top of your mat. And once you arrive, ragdoll, soft bend in your knees, grab a hold of opposite elbows, allow yourself to hang. Can you come back to this moment? Can you be present in your practice? And then maybe you bring in a little bit of anapanasati, that constant focus on your breath, on your inhalation and exhalation, the way your breath feels as it moves in and out of your nostril. And letting go of the bind of your elbows, start to peel yourself up to stand. Really pressing through all 4 corners of your feet. Arms reach overhead. Hands to heart center. Tadasana, mountain pose, palms by your side. Take a roll out of your shoulders. A soft bend in your knees as you do this. And we'll take a neck roll, dropping your head over to the right. Bringing your head forward slowly. Opening to the left. And coming back up straight. Reaching your arms overhead, breathe in. And draw your hands through heart center as you fold down. Squeeze your belly to your spine to keep it controlled. Half lift is your inhale. Fold down as you exhale. We'll take 2 more halfway lifts. So in your half lift, your spine lengthens. You may keep your knees bent here, creating that tabletop back. Slight sucking in of your belly to your spine. And then fold back down as you breathe out. Once more, half lift. You might have your fingertips on the ground, fingertips on your shin. And then also that slight tuck of your chin here. And fold down as you exhale. One final time, half lift. And both hands to the mat, step back to your high plank. Lift your hips to down dog. And coming up onto the tips of your toes, ripple forward. And bend in your knees, rolling down dog, hips to the sky. Rippling forward into your high plank. And drop your knees down to the mat. And lower all the way down to the ground. Baby Cobra, inhale. Melt down as you breathe out. Placing both hands to the outer edges of your mat, striking Cobra. Inhale, lift up. Fold down, exhale. Once more, inhale, striking. We're starting to flow with this now. Exhale, melt down. Both hands press beside your ribs. Press back to your child's position. Take an inhale as you pull yourself forward, moving through your angry cat back. And cow, your belly drops, chest lifts, breathing in. And tuck your toes, downward dog. And your right leg lifts to three-legged dog. Really squeezing your right glute to lift your leg, keeping your hips squared here. Your right toes are flexed and pointing towards the mat. Take an inhale, maybe reaching your leg a little higher. Draw your knee to your nose as you exhale. Pulling your thigh up into your chest. Press through your hands, dome your upper back. And from there, stepping your right foot in between your hands. Back knee drops down, arms reach to the sky, low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Grabbing a hold of opposite elbows. Pulling your elbows apart as you start to lengthen through your spine, breathing in. As you create length through your spine, your vertebrae pulling apart. On your next inhale, maybe taking a baby back bend, keeping your low ribs knitted in, stopping them from flaring. Coming back up with a straight spine, arms to the sky. Both hands to frame your front foot. Step back to your down dog. We'll take it on the other side. This time your left leg lifts to three-legged with control, left glute squeezes. Left toes pointing towards the mat. Keep even weight through both palms of your hands. Take an inhale. Draw your knee to your nose as you exhale. Again, press through your hands, dome through your upper back. Your shoulder blades spread. And then stepping your left foot between your hands, right knee drops down, arms to the sky, low lunge. Grabbing a hold of opposite elbows, this time the other forearm in front. Pulling your elbows apart as you start to create length through your spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, spreading through your vertebrae, and then maybe taking that micro back bend. If you like, you can extend both arms behind you and come back up with a straight spine. Inhale. Both hands to frame your front foot. Step back to your down dog. And ripple forward into your high plank as you breathe in. And bend your knees, down dog. Walking both feet to the top of your mat. And as soon as you arrive, start to peel yourself up to stand. Drawing both hands through your heart center as you fold yourself forward. Halfway lift, spine lengthens, shoulders back and down. And both hands to the mat, step back to your high plank. Dropping your knees down to the earth, start to lower through your chaturanga arms with control. Striking Cobra 2 times. Inhale. Melt down as you exhale. Once more, breathing in and out. Both hands beside your rib cage, press back to your child's pose. Moving forward into your tabletop, through your cat back. And drop your belly, take your cow. Tuck your toes, downward dog. A few rounds of breath here, just to reset. And with this moment, coming back to this pose. How is your down dog unblocking different parts of your body? Where do you feel strength? Where is your effort going? Can you balance it out through the whole entire pose? Maintaining your breath, that even inhale, even exhale. The key thing here is being honest with yourself and showing up to your practice every day. And that is where our growth starts to come from. And take one more inhale. And part your lips and let it go. Right leg lifts to three-legged dog in. Draw your knee to your nose as you breathe out. Step between your hands. And this time your back heel swivels down, warrior one, reaching your hands up to the sky, keeping both hips squared. You might like to widen your stance here. Your right toes pointing towards the front of the room. Your left toes are on a 45-degree angle, pointing up towards the left corner of the room. Squaring off your hips, maybe by pressing through your right heel. Take another inhale here. We'll open it up into warrior two. Both hands go wide. Your feet can stay in the same position. Your chest is open towards the left, and then taking your gaze over your front right fingers. Find your balance between the effort and the ease in this pose. On your next inhale, crescent lunge, both hands sweep up to the sky. Your back heel lifts as you come up onto the ball of your left foot. Crescent lunge, you've got a slight pull up of your lower belly up towards your belly button, a slight tuck of your tailbone, and then really squeezing your left glute to drive your left hip forward. Take another inhale, find length in your spine, spread through your vertebrae. Arrowhead as you straighten through your back leg, hinge your torso forward, arms come in line with the side of your body. Shoulder blades squeezing towards one another. And a gentle nip in of your low ribs. One really straight and strong line. Sweeping both hands up, both arms in line with your ears. Take an inhale. Hold for the exhale. One more breath in. Keep it strong. Both hands come down to frame your front foot. Straighten through your front leg, pyramid pose. And so in pyramid, you might like to shorten your stance slightly. And take a halfway lift with your spine. Slight tuck of your chin. And as you breathe out, start to hinge forward over your right leg. One more half lift, breathing in. And fold down as you exhale. We're here for a few moments. So finding your edge point. This one can be a little bit sticky. You might like to have blocks under your hands to bring the earth up toward you. Squaring off your hips. Taking a bend into your right knee, framing both hands, frame your right foot, press through your hands, dome your upper back. We're going to step back to down dog, but trying to do it without a scrape of your right foot. Very good. Your left leg lifts to three-legged dog. Draw your knee into your nose as you breathe out. Step between your hands. Straight away, your right heel swivels down. We're moving into warrior one, peeling your torso up to the sky. Opening up into warrior two, both hands go wide. And torso this time towards the right, taking your gaze over your left fingers. Drishti gaze, taking your gaze over your left middle finger. And your left knee tracking out to the left edge of your mat. Maybe from there you start to bend a little deeper into your warrior two. Stay with your pose. Can you stay present? Crescent lunge, both hands to the sky, swiveling up onto the ball of your right foot. Big toe and baby toe of your right foot, both pressing evenly into the mat. Soft bend in your right knee. A squeezing of your right glute to the bone. And take another inhale. We're moving into arrowhead as you exhale, hinging forward, straightening through your right leg. One straight and strong line all the way up your body. Arms move in line with your ears, breathing in. Both hands to frame your left foot this time, pyramid pose, straighten through your left leg. Your right hip is rolling down, your left hip rolls back. Adjust your stance if you need. Halfway lift, spine lengthens. And fold down as you breathe out. Once more, peel yourself up, half lift. Fold down, melt into your pyramid. This time we hold. Not worrying about how your pyramid looks, not worrying about the outcome. Trust that being right here, showing up right now, the growth will be happening. And take a bend into your left knee, frame your left foot, picking your knee up into your chest, step back to your down dog. Ripple forward into your high plank. Rolling down dog, bend your knees, lift your hips. Breathing in, ripple forward. Bend knees, lift hips. And this time lifting up onto the balls of your feet, maybe taking one step closer towards the top of your mat. Soft bend in your knees, either step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Half lift is your inhale. And fold down out. And peel yourself up to stand. Hands through your heart center, melt forward, fold forward. Half lift, breathing in. And both hands to the mat, step back to your high plank. You might like to keep your knees lifted this time, otherwise dropping them down to the mat. Take an inhale. Chaturanga is your exhale. Come all the way down to the ground, striking Cobra 2 times, moving with your breath. Hands beside your ribs, press back to child's. And pull yourself forward into your tabletop. And belly drops, chest lifts, take your cow. One more time, cat. Moving with your breath, shoulders back and down, chest forward. And tuck your toes, lift your hips, down dog. And we'll move through the same flow, adding on a little bit as we go. Right leg lifts to 3-legged dog. Yawn your hip open, stacking your right hip on top of your left. Drawing your right heel to your glute, but keeping your ribs squared. Even pressure through both hands. Take another inhale. Draw your knee to your nose as you exhale. Step between your hands. Warrior 1, back heel rolls down, arms peel up. Opening up into Warrior 2. Crescent Lunge as your inhale, arms to the sky. Hold for your exhale. One more breath in. Arrowhead on the out, arms by your side. Left hand reaches forward, right hand stays back, breathing in. And we're going to open up into Warrior 2 again. Windmilling your arms so your left hand moves up and back, your right hand down and forward. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior and straighten through your right leg. And coming back into your Warrior 2. Extended side angle, right forearm to thigh, left hand reaches up and overhead. Really driving your right ribs around to the left here. Taking your gaze underneath your left armpit. Your left hand comes on top of your left hip. Take your gaze forward. We're moving into half moon. And so for this one, we'll take our right hand to the top of our mat and then gliding our left leg into the air, opening our hips up. Your right hand can be on a block or on the floor in front of you. Once you've stacked your left hip on top of your right, you've got a soft bend in your standing knee. Peeling your left hand open to the sky. And then squaring your hips off, sweeping your left hand down to the mat, standing splits. We'll move through these transitions between these two poses a few times. You're going to peel your left hand up your right arm and then opening to the left. Left hip stacks on top of right. And as you exhale, your hand sweeps back down to the mat, hips close. Again, open your hips, breathing in, left hand peels open. Left hand sweeps down, hips squaring off to the mat, standing splits. One more time, hip opens, left hand peels. Standing splits, square the hips, both hands to the mat, take an inhale. Left knee taps behind your right knee. Take a mini squat. Extend your left knee back up, standing splits. Once more, take that tap, your left knee behind your right, generous bend in your right knee. And then you're going to place your left toes over to the right, taking a reverse lunge. Airplane arms, both arms out wide. Holding here for a moment, really starting to fire up through the right glute. On your next inhale, stag pose, With control, your left knee reaches up, arms to the sky. And keeping your hands lifted, Utkatasana chair, both feet down to the mat, taking a squat. And take an inhale. And fold down, exhale. One more time, chair, arms sweep up, hip sinks back. Inhale to hold. And fold forward as you breathe out. Half lift is your inhale. Both hands to the mat, step back to your high plank. Moving through your flow, chaturanga, baby cobra, maybe up dog. And down dog, hips to the sky. We'll take one rolling down dog, ripple forward. Bend your knees, lift your hips. 3 full rounds of breath. We'll take it onto the other side. This time, left leg lifts to 3-legged dog. Yawn your hip open, left hip stacks on top of right. And take an inhale. Draw your knee to your nose, step between your hands. Right heel rolls down, warrior 1, pick yourself up. Open up into warrior 2 as you breathe out. Crescent lunge, inhale. This time straight away to arrowhead on the exhale. Your right arm moves forward in line with your ear, left arm stays back. Open up into warrior 2, right arm swivels open. Reverse your warrior, flip your front palm, reach up and back. Straighten through your front leg. And then coming back into warrior 2. Extended side angle, your left arm to your thigh. Right arm sweeps up and over. Left ribs twisting round to the right. Take your gaze underneath your right armpit. Can you open your chest a little more, lifting your heart space towards the ceiling? And stay with your asana. Can you bring yourself back to this moment, feeling everything that is there for you right now? If it gets a bit much, come back to your breath. Focusing on your inhale, your exhale. Your right hand is going to come on top of your right thigh, or your right hip. And then take your gaze forward. We'll move into half moon. Your left hand moving to the mat, just the floor, just in front of your mat. And then gliding your right foot up in the air, toes flexed, right hip stacked on top of left, peeling your right hand open to the sky. Take an inhale. And both hands down to the mat, square your hips off, standing splits. We'll move through a few rounds, peeling your right hand to the sky, opening your hips. Square your hips off, sweeping down. One more peel open on the inhale. And square your hips, standing splits. Your right knee coming in to tap the back of your left as you bend through your left knee. And then extend your right leg back up, standing. And once more, your right knee to tap your left. And then we'll take that reverse lunge, your right toes moving over to the left. Keep that generous bend through your left knee. Both arms come out in airplane. We're holding here for 2 full rounds of breath. Oh, it is juicy in the left hip. On your next inhale, stag pose, press through the sole of your left foot. Your right knee lifts up to stag. And both feet to the mat, Utkatasana, chair pose. Feet hip width apart, sink your hips deep. Take an inhale. And fold yourself forward, exhale. Inhale to chair. And we're here for a full round. Sink your hips back, maybe a bit lower. If you want more, drawing your shins back in line over your heels so that you can see your toes. One more inhale. So good. Fold forward, breathing out. Half lift as you're in. And both hands to the mat. Step back to your high plank. Moving through an optional flow. Otherwise, we'll meet in down dog. Once you arrive, dropping your knees down to the mat, child's position. Your knees can be together or apart, big toes to touch. Arms either out front or by your sides. Maybe taking this moment to observe the more subtle elements of your bodies, your more subtle bodies. Your pranamaya kosha, your energetic body. Your manamaya kosha, your mental body. Have they been shifting since the start of the class? How does your energy feel? How does your mind feel? Take a deep breath into your belly. And breath into your lungs. Sip in a little more. Part the lips and sigh it out. If you need some more time in child's pose, please stay here. Otherwise, making your way into your down dog. We'll move through our flow once more on each side. Now that it's starting to become familiar, we'll move through a little faster. One breath, one movement. When you're ready, take an inhale and exhale. Right leg lifts to three-legged dog. Yawn your hip open. Draw your knee to your nose as you breathe out. Step between your hands, warrior one. Warrior two as your exhale. Crescent lunge in. Arrowhead out. The left arm sweeps forward. Warrior two, breathing out. Flip your palm reverse. Extend through your front leg. Extended side angle is your breath out. We'll hold here for a full round. And taking your left hand to your hip, look forward. Half moon as you inhale, gliding towards the top of your mat. Peeling your left hand to the sky, breathing in. Standing splits is your breath out. One more time, peel open to half moon. Standing splits, exhale. And draw your left knee to the back of your right knee. Standing splits, kick your left leg back straight and strong. Once more, tap the back of your right knee. Take your lunge. Left toes out to the right, arms out wide. Inhale to stag. Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale. Inhale for a hold. Fold forward, let go on the out. Half lift, breath in. Hands to the mat, step back to your high plank. This time, lifting your hips to the sky, down dog. Left leg lift straight away, three-legged. Knee to your nose. Ooh, extend back, three-legged. Yawn your hip open. Take an inhale. Knee to your nose, exhale. Step between your hands. Warrior one, breathing in. Warrior two, out. Crescent lunge in. Arrowhead out. Right arm forward on the in. Windmill arms open, exhale. Reverse warrior, straighten through your front leg. Extended side angle, one big breath out. Hold here for your in. And maybe twist your chest around a little more as you exhale. Right hand to your right hip. Look forward, half moon. Right hand peels open to the sky. Standing splits, breathing out. Peel open to half moon on the in. Standing splits out. Right knee to the back of your left. Extend back up on the in. Bend right knee to left knee. Exhale. And taking your lunge, right toes out to the left, arms out wide. And on your next breath in, stag. Chair pose, both feet to the earth. Lift your chest a little higher. Fold forward, exhale. Half lift, breath in. And step back to your high plank. Lift your hips to down dog. Ripple forward, undulate through your spine. Optional flow or meet in child's. We'll all make our way to down dog. Once you've arrived, walking your feet to the top of your mat. And take a ragdoll, grabbing a hold of opposite elbows. Generous bend in your knees, maybe shutting down your eyes. Letting go of the bind, start to peel yourself up to stand. Arms overhead on the in. Hands to heart center, Utkatasana, chair pose. And this time sinking your hips all the way down, maybe bringing your arms out in front of you. And as soon as your glutes hit down on the mat, unpeeling yourself all the way down to the mat. Taking an inhale, feel your belly rise. Slowly, gently releasing that from your lungs, your belly. We'll move through a few rounds of bridge, optional wheel. Both feet are just behind your hips, hip width apart. Maybe your fingertips touch or tickle the back of your heels. And from there, starting to press through the soles of your feet. There's a slight tuck of your tailbone, a pull up of your lower abs to your belly as your glutes squeeze to the bone to press your hips up into the air. Drawing your heels towards your head, noticing how that lights up the back of your legs. Breathing in for a count of 4. 3, 2, 1. As you exhale for 4, start to lower through your hips for 3, 2, 1. And your next breath in, breathing in for 5 as you start to lift your hips back up into bridge for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower your hips. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you've got the option to move through one final bridge, otherwise moving into a wheel. If you're moving into wheel, both hands up to the sky, palms face the ceiling. Turning your pinky fingers slightly out as if you're turning taps on. And then drawing your hands beside your ears, fingers towards your shoulders. On your next inhale, lifting up into your bridge, and then pressing through your hands to lift your heart space towards the back wall. And the squeezing of your glutes to protect your lower back. Your core is still active. And when you're ready to come out of this one, drawing your chin to your chest, coming back the same way, bending through your arms, your shoulders to the mat, and then lowering your hips back down. No matter where you've come from, bridge or wheel, both feet to the outer edges of your mat, knees to knock in together. Both hands on your belly. Feeling your breath. Placing both feet flat on the mat. Your right leg up in the air. And then crossing your right leg over top of your left. And draw both knees up so that they are directly at a 90-degree angle above your torso. From there, if it feels okay, you may grab a hold of opposite outer blade edges of your feet. And keep your feet flexed, and then draw your soles of your feet up towards the wall where your head is. This one here is a really deep hip opener. So if that's a little strong, come into your figure 4, which is your left sole of your foot down on the mat. Right ankle is on top of left thigh, and then gently gliding your right knee out. Coming back to that cross-legged position, left sole of your foot on the mat. And then dropping your knees over to the left, supine twist. Keep both shoulder blades flat on the mat. Take your gaze maybe over towards your right arm, your right fingers. Your fingers in line with your shoulder. And we'll come back through center, taking everything onto the other side. Unravel your legs. Left leg straight, foot in the air. Crossing your left leg over your right. And then drawing both shins up, both thighs up, Grabbing a hold of the outer blade edges of opposite feet. Keep those toes flexed, those feet flexed, protecting your ankle. Otherwise, you've got that figure 4. So your right sole of your foot on the mat. Left ankle comes on top of right thigh. And then gently gliding your left knee out here. And just listen to your body with what you're needing here. Coming back to your cross-legged position, right sole of the foot is on the mat, left leg crossed over, arms out wide in line with your shoulders, dropping your knees over to the right this time, taking your gaze over to the left. Supine twist. Coming back through center, unraveling through both legs. Give yourself a hug, knees into your chest, and then taking a few circles with your knees, just massaging through your lower back. We'll take it the other way. And then giving yourself a big cuddle, wrapping both arms around your shins, drawing your forehead in towards your knees. When you're ready, making your way into Shavasana, legs out long, arms out wide. If you'd like to finish this class in a seated position for a meditation, please make your way there now. As you arrive in your Shavasana, in your seat, letting go of all tension through your muscles, allowing your bones to be heavy. Trusting the process. Allowing yourself to come into full surrender. Knowing that, or trusting that by showing up as you are to your yoga practice, and just as my little devil's ivy roots were growing without me even noticing, that growth, that transformation inside you is happening through your practice. The benefits of yoga come when we truly allow ourselves to surrender to the practice, trusting that it will do the work as long as we consistently show up. Beginning to bring some depth back into your breath. Bringing awareness back into each sense. Taking some micro movements of your fingers, your toes. Gently guiding yourself over into a fetal position on the left side of your mat. Creating a pillow for yourself with your arm. When you're ready, guiding yourself up into a seated position. You might like to keep your eyes closed here. And drawing your hands to your heart center. Taking a deep inhale, feel your belly lift. Breathing in further, feeling your chest lift, your ribs expand. Let that one go. Through trusting the process and the practice of yoga, allowing ourselves to surrender to the magic that yoga can bring us, the transformation it can help us move through. Taking a moment of gratitude for this practice and all of those that have helped this practice become what it is today. We close this class by together taking an inhale. As you exhale, bowing your head, namaste. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining me for that flow. If you've got any questions at all, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope to see you all soon. Have a lovely day, a lovely evening, wherever you are.